Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have an inexhaustible drive, a spark that keeps them pushing forward, no matter the odds? It's a question that has intrigued philosophers, scientists, and curious minds for centuries. Now let's embark on a journey to understand the power of motivation and inspiration. Imagine a young woman named Clara. Clara was an average student, neither exceptionally bright nor particularly athletic. She was just an ordinary person living an ordinary life. But one day she heard a story about a man who, despite being born in a low-income neighborhood and facing numerous adversities, became a world-renowned scientist. This story struck a chord with Clara. She found herself inspired, filled with a new sense of purpose. She began to study harder, to push herself beyond her previous limits. She found herself motivated by the thought that if this man could overcome his obstacles, so could she. And ultimately, she did. Clara went on to become a respected researcher in her field, all because of a spark of inspiration. Now picture another story, this time about a man named George. George was a talented artist, but he struggled to make ends meet. His work was not selling, and he was on the verge of giving up his passion. But one day he found a letter from a young fan who was deeply moved by one of his paintings. The letter conveyed how the painting had given the fan hope during a dark time. This letter served as a source of motivation for George. He realized that his art had the power to touch people's hearts, to bring light into their lives, and so he persisted, determined to continue creating. Today, George's art is celebrated worldwide, and it all started with a single letter. These stories illustrate the transformative power of motivation and inspiration. They are the fuel that drives us forward, the spark that ignites our passions, and the beacon that guides us through challenges. They show us that no matter how ordinary we may seem, we all have the potential to achieve extraordinary things. Clara's story teaches us that inspiration can come from anywhere. It can be a story, a person, a thought, or even a seemingly insignificant event. What matters is what we do with that inspiration. It's not just about being inspired, it's about translating that inspiration into action, just as Clara did. George's story, on the other hand, shows us that motivation can often come from the impact we have on others. Knowing that our actions can make a difference in someone else's life can be a powerful motivator. It pushes us to strive harder, to keep going even when the going gets tough. In summary, motivation and inspiration are powerful forces that can propel us towards our goals. They can come from anywhere, and they can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. They are not just concepts, but real, tangible forces that have the power to shape our lives. So keep looking for that spark of inspiration. Keep seeking those moments of motivation. You never know when they might lead you to achieve something truly remarkable. Just remember the stories of Clara and George, two ordinary individuals who achieved extraordinary things, all thanks to the power of motivation and inspiration.